thought that it would be a fun idea to read them back to back and compare them and see what they have in common, what they do differently, and ultimately which one I like better. I don't know if it's going to be something that actually scares me.
I love that this book comes with trigger warnings right at the front, and he doesn't hold back and lays it out just like it is. That I appreciate.
I just started reading Nestlings by Nat Cassidy, and in my research, in my looking into this book, I've seen it compared to Rosemary's Baby. So I thought that it would be a fun idea to read them back to back and compare them and see what they have in common, what they do differently, and ultimately which one I like better. That's what this video is going to be about. I started Nestlings yesterday. And I am like 55 pages in. And so far, we are being introduced to Reed and Anna. And Reed and Anna have been subjected to a string of bad luck. It started off, they couldn't get pregnant. They couldn't have a baby. Anna finally got pregnant. She goes into labor and there's complication due to her epidural and an old dancing injury. After she gives birth, she is paralyzed. When suddenly they get notified that they have won a drawing for a rent-controlled apartment in this historical, beautiful building overlooking Central Park in Manhattan, they are shocked and they assume that their string of bad luck has come to an end and that maybe things are going to start working for them and going in their direction. From the get-go, there are little clues that things aren't quite right about this place. The real estate agent, who is weird and twitchy, from the fact that when they order takeout after they've moved in, none of the delivery people will enter the building or even cross the street to get near the front door. Then they start noticing weird things about the bellboy. No, not the bellboy. The front desk clerk and the elevator guy. The fact that their baby, their 1-year-old baby, Charlie, cries as soon as they enter the building and is unsettled and crying like all the time. But when they leave the building and they're out and about, she's fine. She's happy. She's happy baby. They're not putting two and two together yet. I really like the gothic touches that I've seen in here so far. Gargoyles that are on the building. Some of the references to the creepier elements in this so far have that vibe to it. There is one, let me see, Their sleep was deep and pure, so much so that neither registered the noises coming from the baby monitor. Noises strange enough that they might not have even recognized them. The sound of heavy hands hitting the window glass outside Charlie's room, the squeal as the window slid open, the sigh of cool air puffing into the room. On some level, though, they did register that Charlie abruptly stopped crying. Anna and Reed nestled further into each other and dove deeper into sleep. Yeah, just so these little clues and references to creepy and things that aren't quite right. I feel like so far this is going to be a story that has good, creepy, gothic horror vibes. I don't know if it's going to be something that actually scares me, but we will see. We will see. As far as Rosemary's Baby is concerned, I think the similarities are going to be in the fact that a couple moves into this old building that has a lot of historical aspects to it, and that the couple are pregnant or have just had a child. I think she's pregnant when they move in, and things start to go wrong. And there's obviously, I think, like cultish type things going on in this building. Not really sure, although I've definitely heard this can be considered one of the scarier books that people have read. So I'm really excited to read both of these and to compare them and contrast them. That's it for now. I just wanted to give you intro clip, a little description of what I'm reading. I'll check back in with you when I make some more progress on these books. So excited. Feel like I've turned into a horror girl. Definitely gotten away, and I still love sci-fi and fantasy. I've just definitely gotten away from it a little bit in the past few months, and the horror, thriller vibes have really sucked me in, and that's what I've just been gravitating towards, and I'm just leaning into it. Check back with you. Bye. I'm thinking about watching Rosemary's Baby before I read the book. I'm not sure if this is the best idea or if I should read the book and then watch the movie, but I'm not yet finished with Nestlings. I'm like halfway through. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's not scary to me. It's more like freaky, macabre, just eerie, weird, haunted apartment building vibes than anything else, but I don't find it scary. Put it that way. I'm not having to look over my shoulder at night or hide my face under the blankets or getting that creepy crawly feeling from it. It is definitely entertaining and it is a lot of fun, and I am enjoying his writing very much. I think that he does such a great job. This is one thing that I have a lot of issue with in other horror books or in other books in general, is the lack of usage of like sensory detail, including all five senses. And I feel like this author does a really fantastic job of doing that. You can tell that he realizes the immersive experience that provides to his readers. I really like the setup of this book. I think that it is very kind of spellbinding and intriguing because you not only are interested in the creepy, eerie aspects, but you're also interested in the history of this building and the history of the people that live within the building, kind of what the whole fetish is with they're wanting children in the building. So, you have all these unanswered questions. I find that part really fun, and it definitely keeps me compelled to read. But like I said, I'm maybe halfway, and it's only been like a day and a half. So easy to read, flying through it. I feel like I should probably finish it maybe like tomorrow and then get started on Rosemary's Baby. So like I said, I'm thinking about watching Rosemary's Baby, the movie, first. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't decided 100%. Either way, I will be watching it, whether it's before or after I read the book. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I also wanted to throw a little clip up here, just a book that I found on a random Amazon search for horror books that I thought looked interesting. I have this weird obsession now with trying to find new horror books to read, or maybe like old school, new to me horror. So I've just been going on these dives, like looking for weird horror. So if I find any of those that are interesting, I'll probably throw them up here and share them just for shits and giggles, But it's a beautiful sunny day. Still pretty cold. I think it's in the 40s today. All the snow and ice is gone and melted, so that's good. And we are supposed to get more snow again, like next week, which is weird and unheard of. Oh, also, I should have put this on the damn stand, but my bestie is coming to visit me from Baltimore, so that's fun. I'm sure we will do some stuff, get out of the house a bit, and maybe I'll add some of those clips here or in the next vlog. I probably won't read while she's here because she's not a reader. Well, not like I'm a reader, you know. So we'll probably just chit chat, go out, do stuff, and enjoy each other's company for the few short days that she's here before I move. That's my update, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Bye! I have a quick update because I did not vlog at all while Stephanie was here. We basically just hung out at the house the entire time and talked and just enjoyed each other's company. I didn't read at all. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today's Monday. Hopefully she just left this morning. We dropped her off at the airport. So hopefully I will get to read a little bit today. We did watch a movie. It was called Heretic. It has Hugh Grant in it, which I had never even heard of, but Stephanie talked about it and said she had heard it was good. So we watched that. It's about this man he's like a creepy old man, and he lives in this strange house. And these two girls that belong to the Church of Latter-day Saints, they go to, as missionaries trying to spread the word. He basically, it puts them through a bunch of tests, kind of. It's all very creepy and kind of scary and reminiscent of the movie Saw in a way. Not quite as brutal and bloody, but definitely disturbing, and it really makes you think. And the entire point is he is questioning religious doctrines and the source material, finding the truth and your belief systems and all this, that, and the other, but in a very kind of demented way.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Are you interested in learning about our Savior, Jesus Christ? Hi. Good afternoon. Hi, are you? My name is Sister Barnes, and oh my gosh. Are you interested in learning more about the Church of Jesus Christ?
Come on in.
You can't come inside unless another woman is present.
My wife is home. Does that count?
Great.
You like pie?
Yeah.
My wife has pie in the oven.
I can tell that you are a very spiritually curious person.
I think it is good to be religious, to find your faith in a doctrine you actually believe.
Well, our work here is done.
Now, I will go and check on the pie.
So sleep, silent angel.
Can you fit through this? You're crazy. We just need to go home.
I won't keep you if you wish to leave. But I want you to choose which door to go through based on your faith.
What does this have to do with us leaving?
Everything.
I think that we're being studied.
It will make your hearts beat faster. It may even make you want to die. Do not be afraid. You will witness a miracle.
So it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. I would probably have given it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars or like 7.5 out of 10. It was pretty good, and I feel like Hugh Grant really nailed the role. It's not a role that I would have actually pictured him in, because he always seemed more of like a rom-com kind of guy, not a thriller, like horror thriller kind of guy. But he nailed it. He did really great in this role. The girls, they were new. I had never seen them in anything before, and they did a really great job as well. There was like one scene in particular that, or maybe two scenes in particular, that were pretty creepy and dark, really made the movie for me. I think the ending was a little lackluster and it could have been a little bit better. But yeah, I enjoyed it and I highly recommend checking it out if you're into horror thriller movies. It was definitely a fun watch. The next time you see me, I will be probably wrapping up Rosemary's Baby. I am around 100 pages in and it's just over, I think it's like 280 pages or so. So you will see that. But we are in the midst of moving. We will be moving in the next three-ish weeks. So look out for a moving vlog, South Carolina to Montana. That'll be interesting. And also, I wanted to mention, I did take a clip while we were out. After I picked her up, we went to lunch. And as we were parking, this man was walking down the street with a monkey on his shoulder. And I had never actually seen that in person before. So I recorded a little clip and he came up to us and let us shake the monkey's hand. So that was fun. That's it. I just wanted to give you a quick little update. I know it's been a while for me, so I'm not really sure where I left off, but excited to finish Rosemary's Baby and do a little comparison on Nestlings. That's it, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Some really weird and up shit is happening. So this part of the story is very different from Nestlings. So there's like this weird, like rapey sex scene, and it is rather disturbing and cultish. So there was that. But now I just am starting part 2, and Rosemary just found out that she's pregnant. I am interested to see like how the baby plays into the story, because that's one thing I'm not really sure of. Like, is this gonna be like a monster baby? Like the Antichrist or something? Where is this going? I want to know. I don't know that I've ever seen the movie. Like, I think I mentioned this, but I feel like I've seen bits and pieces and never like the whole thing. But I've heard that different things, that it's stupid and old and not scary, but then I've also heard other people say that it's disturbing and scary and a great movie. So obviously I have not watched it yet. Like, I was debating whether or not to watch it first and then read the book, but I read the book. I'm reading the book first, which I feel was the best move for me, because I am one of those, if I watch the movie or the show first, like I generally just don't want to read the book because I feel like it spoils it. But yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have to watch it, or at least check it out after I'm finished reading this. So like, I'm just over 100 and some pages in. Yeah. And it's only like 230 some pages, not 280 some pages. Anyway, getting back to it. Bye. I finished Rosemary's Baby, and I will say that I absolutely love this book. I gave this 5 stars. This is a slower horror story. It's very subtle in its horror elements, and it is filled with very subtle, disturbing hints about what's happening behind the scenes as Rosemary starts to pick up on what's happening around her. It's a very straightforward writing style. It's very simple and easy to read, very digestible, and I very much related with Rosemary. I think that Ira Levin really did a great job at exploring grief and postpartum depression, or like motherhood and the changes that can bring to a woman emotionally and physically, and how she can begin to question her experiences and whether or not she's being overly emotional or if she's overreacting. It's all about trusting in yourself. And I forgot to use my mic, so let's see if this sounds better. We'll see what I can do here. A very layered tale about loss of self and agency. What really sent this over the top for me is the sheer believability of the horror aspects, because that is what gets me. Like, for me, when there are creatures and these mythical beings that are what the horror is based around, that usually doesn't scare me. It's fun and interesting and I enjoy it. But books that are based upon more reality-based horror scenarios are things that actually will scare me and that will stand out above other horror books. And this book did that. So yeah, 5 stars, easy read. Like I said, it's a slow burn build up of like this atmospheric building. I really enjoyed that aspect. Now let's talk about what these 2 books had in common, what similarities they had. They definitely had the setting in common. So they both take place in New York City, in an old like historic building that has been known for its like horrible things happening there, mysterious, foreboding setting. They both center around a marriage between a man and a woman, and that kind of disintegration of their relationship as they are kind of plunged into this new world and are dealing with parenthood, how those relationships stand up to those tests, and really just kind of focuses on that family unit. Lies and betrayal are a big part of both of these stories. They both have a very straightforward writing style, and you can definitely tell that Nat Cassidy has taken inspiration from Rosemary's Baby, and there are certain even elements of Rosemary's Baby that are mentioned in Nat Cassidy's book, such as gargoyles and stone figures on the buildings, and you know, the building itself, the sinister older people that live in this building and are doing these odd things. So those are, I think, the main similarities. The differences really are the villains in these stories. So the villain in Nestlings is more of a mythological, supernatural, otherworldly creature, being vampire-esque. Whereas in Rosemary's Baby, it's more of a cultish vibe, witchcraft, devil worshipping, so that basis in reality is much more there and apparent in Rosemary's Baby. Not to say that it doesn't have its supernatural elements and otherworldliness. It does. But I would say overall the believability aspect in Rosemary's Baby is much higher, and in Nestlings it is suspension of disbelief and kind of these grotesque creatures, and it was very fun to read, but definitely not on the believable side. I think the other huge aspect of the differences in this comparison would be, without spoilers, to say the differences in the mother's choices at the end of the book. I would say that they very much make different choices. Rosemary's decisions at the end felt much more realistic and something that most mothers would relate with, as opposed to Anna's decisions at the end of Nestlings. They felt very uncomfortable, not something that I don't believe most mothers would make that choice. I'll just leave it at that. 4.5 stars for Nestlings, 5 stars for Rosemary's Baby. I have not watched the movie yet. I know that I said I was going to, and I probably still will, and I maybe make a separate video on that later if I can. Things have been pretty hectic around here. We're beginning the packing and moving process, and so reading time and filming time and all that stuff is going to probably decline a little bit as we get into the thick of it. So that's gonna wrap up this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know if you have read either of these books, and if you found yourself making comparisons or noting the inspiration that Nat Cassidy took from Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, let's chat about it in the comments. And I will see you next time. Bye.